to a classroom and start teaching. That didn't used to be the case. Virginia used to say you'd have to get a bachelor's degree in education and then you have to get a master's in something else that you're more solid in. Well, what we know is that the diversity of students coming out of a 4-year program is far greater than it is when students have to go on for 2 more years. So building the relationships with Bob Pianta, the dean at the college and at the University of Virginia, working with Mark Ginsburg, the dean at George Mason already, and trying to figure out how do we tap into that pipeline has been incredibly powerful for us. And so we're looking forward to building that pipeline. Thanks, great question. Yes, sir.
So it's going to sound like a math question, but it's more of a philosophical question. So Falls Church is an excellent school system, right? We're some percentage more excellent than the rest of the state, right? And we spend some percentage more than the rest of the state does. There's diminishing returns to that. You can't just throw money at a school system and get infinitely better, right? So where is that? Where do you stop? You just stop wherever the city council stops giving you money, or where do you think that, like in a cost per pupil basis or whatever, is there a point at which you think money spent on the school system isn't providing you the right returns?
So where's the tipping point of return on investment, perhaps, is a way to think about it. I've mentioned this before, and the only way I can really say it is that for great organizations to operate, it costs about 4% a year. And all things being equal, if we didn't get any more students into our system, and we only had 2,800 students for the rest of the time that we were here, I think it's incumbent upon us as leaders in the organization to continue compensating our folks really well, to maintain that competitive edge, to make sure that there's really great professional development, and to make sure that our teachers have time to plan and to work together. And I don't think you can do that for anything less than 4% a year. So I think at minimum, that's where we are. If we grow in students, I think when we think about compensation and growing as a system at 4%, if we get 100 more students, that could then increase that need. So I did a chart as we were going through the bond referendum, extrapolating out for the next 15 years of what the operating costs of the school system would be at a 4% increase on average year over year. Because I think that's sort of the direction that we go. And I think in some ways it's somewhat reflective of organic growth of a community and economic development and the like. But I also know that there are hiccups in there too, and we have to at some point take a step back, take stock, and figure out how can we refine or get tighter to perhaps bring that number down. But I would say I don't know. I don't know that I see it stopping. I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure our folks are compensated really well for the work that they do. And that costs us about 4% a year.
Just a compliment to the budget. I mean, I think if you start with those slides, I think that's the most important thing you can do is make sure that you're competitive, especially in a teacher shortage, you want to be as competitive as you can be. And I just think it's important that you start with that and make that your priority. So I appreciate that.
Thank you. Ms. York, any questions? Not to put you on the spot. If not, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so the addition of the social worker, what does that put in? Where's that position going to go? Where are we in terms of how many social workers at each school?
Yeah, there are 2 social workers that are part-time, so I would anticipate either making both of them full-time or adding time to both of those schools. So one is here at TJ, and the other is at Henderson.
So then would that give us a full-time?
Yeah, it would round us out so we would have enough coverage based on the number of students that we have in each place. Yeah, it would be really great, for sure.
All right, I like it.
All right. Well, listen, I appreciate you all very much for coming. I appreciate you guys for being here too. And I just thanks for your continued support of the schools. I really do appreciate everything everybody here does on behalf of Falls Church City Public Schools, and there's a reason we're as good as we are, and I think it's our staff and our parents and our students, and look forward to great work ahead. So thanks for coming.